Women of Spirit and Faith, we are a community of diverse spiritual women from 20 to 84, coming together to explore what's out there on the edge of our own spiritual leadership. When we gather in a circle with a sacred center and a deep commitment to listening to one another and to Spirit, that collectively we evoke a deeper spiritual wisdom that could help heal this obviously broken world.
Listening is a sacred art. We become a listening presence. We provide that space for someone else to speak themselves into existence in some ways. We become the midwives, and that's a way to listen that is so powerful.
One of the things that we do is we set up an altar because we are creating a sacred space. So it becomes like this beautiful spiral of physical things that are actually deeply spiritual. We also do a land acknowledgement, first honoring those that were here before all of us.
We have women from the West Coast and the East Coast with all kinds of backgrounds. And so we're all bunking up together for a long weekend to spend time and to share and to pray, to sing, to eat.
Once the basket weaver begins to weave, then it's like a quiet music begins. What mysteries will unfold? What stories are being told? What discoveries will we make? And maybe, just maybe, we'll discover how divine we are. And in that discovery of our own divinity, it frees us up so that we can become more of who we are. And so what we're doing here is encouraging that in each other.
Well, I'm hearing hope for the future, and I'm hearing despair about the future, both. How do I find my voice? How do I keep expressing myself? What's getting in the way of my expressing myself? The importance of support and a safe space to have the kind of conversation that we have.
Trusting ourselves, trusting Spirit, trusting one another, choosing love, and choosing the vulnerability that comes with love over and over.
It's been a time of healing. It's been a time of looking at my brokenness, the coming apart, that there's beauty, there's light shining through. Before it was a shame. And now it's like there's value. There's life still there.
It's deep, authentic relationships in a safe space, in a safe container, using circle process and circle principles to evoke new knowings, new wisdom, new understandings of ourselves and of our role now. Women need to weave a new world. And we know how to do that.
Brother David Stendhal-Ross was being interviewed on radio, and the interviewer asked him if there was one thing that could change the world. And he said unhesitatingly, if women reclaim their power. What is it? What is this power? Love, devotion, non-hierarchy, cooperation. These are actually rather innate qualities.
What I'm witnessing now in the room, I think a very deep sense of hope for everybody that's present here. Hope in themselves, or hope in the fact that other people like them exist, or hope that, they have a space to say things.
My offering was a metal rose to put on the altar. The idea that it was like an act of self-love to myself, and beginning to see that I feel like I'm an amazing person, but I I'm still getting to the point of saying I know.
And so my question is, how long? How long do we have to wait? And that's a common prayer. How long, oh Lord? How long are we going to be waiting and hurting and aching? And I don't think we need to keep waiting. I think that the invitation is right there before us to step into our power, to use our voice, to bring the gifts that we have, to bring healing and restoration to our communities.
It was really difficult growing up in a country, Democratic Republic of Congo, which has a lot of war and conflict, which resulted to the loss of both my parents. So my personal experience have led to my love with human rights and the desire to help others. I want to provide education for young girls, especially refugee girls who are in a refugee camp. And being in a room where you feel that everyone is kind of interconnected in some ways, and that was just really special. Yeah, just like being here made me reflect on the question of like, how do I take care of myself? I have to be able to be okay, to be healthy in terms of me, to be able to take care of others.
So I'm a rising fifth-year PhD student in sociology. I study racial capitalism and sex trafficking. I didn't have community, or that I didn't have people that I could connect to in the way that I wanted. And I found that here I can connect with people on a deeper level, which is something I've always longed for. I feel like a lot of the imbalances on this planet is due to a lack of love. And if we can just be more compassionate and we can be more love-giving to everyone, we wouldn't see those kind of ailments in the world.
Those young women will be doing the most important work that's ever been done on this planet of restoring balance by bringing the healing medicine of the sacred feminine. Because they're going to be doing that work, we want to support them, we want to nurture them, we want to feed them love, resources, whatever they need, so that they can really bring their leadership fully.
Yeah, so what I long for an end to U.S. imperialism, police to no longer have the power or authority to sweep away encampments. I long for a time when people care for their neighbors as much as they care for their own nuclear families. I long for the knowledge that the spiral of time is turning towards love, and I long for people to know themselves just to be so utterly and fully deserving of that love. Independence and autonomy and freedom, and being in relationality with people in a way that they can really show up and be present.
There are many fights to be fought. There are many actions to be vocal for and to speak up for, but how we heal ourselves and recenter ourselves so that we are able to go back out there and do the work that we're being called to do. And for me, it's an affirmation to gather the women that I sit with, where I live, and to be intentional and to remember that us just doing that is some of the most powerful things that we can be doing.
The woman's way is so sacred, so important. I'm really glad that there is a group that is giving women the voice, the lending ear, to give it more of a foundation. We have so much to give, so much just naturally. And if that could be incorporated, to have that healing touch in everything, in every form that humans move, it's really important moving forward.
We made here a divine basket with all of our beautiful threads. It's not an illusion. It's not something that's out of reach. We can manifest right here, right now, every moment. And that's magic.
The word that has been sticking with me since Circle this morning was awakening, an awake feeling that I have. So I think just self-awareness and self-acceptance is something that this group has already just started to ignite in my heart and my soul.
In retrospect, when I look back on how being part of this group has shaped me over the last decade, it's given me this indomitable confidence and knowing of my own competence, capacity, courage, right, to step into roles of leadership that I otherwise might not have. So it's given me a strength and a courage that is deeply grounding and really profound that I don't think I would have uncovered in the same way with any other group.
I'm hopeful for what the future has to offer and for where the world is going to go as we continue to bring these gifts forward. But to get to experience a space like this in a time like this has infused me with hope for what is to come. It's like the battle isn't lost. There's still so much goodness to happen.